What's up, guys? It's your boy MadPack420 here with Life Liberty Gaming, coming at you with a new one. And today we're gonna do what everyone else is doing and troll on this stupid Nintendo Switch OLED model. If you hear any rain or thunder in the background, it's raining again, and I guess I'm making a habit of doing videos in the rain. But yeah, so if you hear any kind of rumblings out there, it's the rain. But yeah, so I did a video a few months ago about talking about the Nintendo Switch Pro being a real thing. I talked about the OLED screen, but it also had some other stuff about possibility of 4K, DLSS, all that other interesting stuff that had been rumored for, for God knows how long, and from many reputable sources. But no, they finally announced this thing yesterday, and I was... Look, I love my Nintendo Switch Lite. This thing's great. See, I used to have a full-size Switch, but, it got stolen. So I had to deactivate a lot of stuff and remove that console from the family so that no one could steal, information off there. But I actually suspect it actually fell out of the car and got crushed in the street somewhere. God forbid. But I'd rather have some asshole playing it rather than it being crushed in the street somewhere. But again, I love this damn thing. My girlfriend got me this for my birthday after the other Switch disappeared, and I've been playing this thing and I love it. It's great. I played the other one exclusively in handheld mode pretty much, so this works out for me. But the idea of a much better version of the Switch, 60 frames, a better screen, possibly 4K docked, upscaling. I don't know. That stuff was very, very, very enticing to me, and I was down for it. I was like, the minute they announced the Switch Pro, I'm probably gonna sell this or trade this in or something, and I'm gonna upgrade and I'm gonna go Switch Pro. Yeah, I'm not buying this piece of shit. $350 for a better screen. And now, they do have an Ethernet port in the back of the dock, which is nice. But listen, I already bought one of these. See, this is a third-party little Ethernet. You plug that in the USB, and then you plug that. The Ethernet goes in there, and it's whatever. I also modded the fuck out of that dock. This is the dock. This is like. What this is the internals of the original dock that came with the system, that big O chunk right there. And I pulled the motherboard out, bought a little case off Amazon, and that's the dock. And it just slides right there, like that. And then here's all the ports. It was cool. I mean, it is cool. I don't know if this thing will work with that, but I don't know if the OLED model will work with this thing, but it doesn't really fucking matter because I'm not buying that fucking thing. All right, let's read this article a little bit because I'm already getting salty. Nintendo has announced a new Switch model today with a large 7-inch 720p OLED display. While rumors also suggested the Switch would ship with the new NVIDIA chip inside, the new OLED model is mostly a screen upgrade. Nintendo lists the Switch OLED model as supporting 1080p via TV mode, and rumors that suggested 4K support thanks to a rumored NVIDIA chip upgrade. The Switch OLED model will go on sale for $350 starting October 8th. Yeah, don't buy that. I mean, listen, Nintendo fans are going to buy this bullshit, but if you could get an Xbox Series S at retail, which is kind of hard to do, but theoretically, when the Xbox Series S is at retail, it's what, $299, and this thing's $350. Somebody's getting ripped off here. Okay, and I know Microsoft is underselling and undercutting with that Series S, but seriously, Nintendo, seriously, this is, I expect this from you. I don't know why I'm salty about it. I should expect you doing numbskull things like this. I mean, your online store is still a dumpster fire. You can't even change the theme on your damn Switch. Uh, there's like you can make so much money on Joy-Con colors and Joy-Con like combinations, and you refuse to. Like, you guys have always been like you make a lot of money, but I feel like your standards are like 20 years behind everybody. Like, when it comes to what is acceptable as on a platform. Oh, shitty internet, it's fine. No one gives a fuck. It's internet, man. Like, come on, guys. Themes on a console are themes. Like, who needs that? Look, eShop. Like, you can find games on the eShop. There are games on there. I don't care about that. You buy physical copies anyway because we only give you 32 gigs of storage. However, this model though has 64 gigabytes of storage. Whoop-de-doo! So now you can fit 3.5 games on there. Oh man. And look, I like buying physical copies. I prefer buying physical copies on Switch. I do, but that storage is a joke. And then you gotta always buy SD cards, man. Like, God, dude, like this console, like, I love it, but then it's so dumb. And then they're doing this garbage right here. Just all they're doing is giving me a better screen. And look, OLED screens are beautiful. It's no joke. That the PS Vita, I believe, had an OLED screen, and it looked really good. Okay, but yay, 720p, barely hitting 30 frames, still blurry as hell, but it looks more vibrant. Yay. Oh man. Nintendo has confirmed to The Verge that there are no major internal changes to CPU or memory. Nintendo Switch OLED model does not have a new CPU or more RAM for previous Nintendo Switch model, says Nintendo spokesperson. Elsewhere, there's little change over the original device. Nintendo's battery life of the new OLED Switch will be 9 hours, the same amount as the current Switch. The OLED Switch is slightly longer and the original than the original, and is slightly heavier versus slightly heavier, whatever. The original Joy-Cons will all work the new Switch. So there's still the no Joy-Con revision. The same Joy-Con. Dude, I am glad I went last year on Amazon that I bought like 20 freaking like thumbsticks. I'm serious. I bought 20 freaking Joy-Con thumbstick replacements. And I replaced, before that original Switch I had to replace the Joy-Con sticks like 3 times, I believe. Twice on the left and once on the right. And everything's tiny and you gotta take it apart. Like, I'm good at that stuff, but man, like, I have big fat American hands and that thing is tiny and it was annoying to work on. And every time the Joy-Con started to drift or started to like make that like, I'm like, oh god. I do not want to fix Joy-Con drift on the Switch Lite. I don't. I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't drift, because, man. So, they're still the same Joy-Cons. Yay. And literally the only difference is they've got an Ethernet port on the back of this thing. Whoop-de-doo. And it's white. Now, there's an interesting theory floating around, and I pulled this up earlier this morning, or earlier today, actually. This morning, I don't know. And this little opinion piece, I'll go and link this in the description here, but the idea was that the Switch Pro was going to be something that was rumored, the DLSS and 4K upscaling support and a better dock and all that was coming, right? And all that was rumored if anyone knew anything about what was going on. But this article is it's an opinion and it's just speculation, but the idea that the component shortage was one of the reasons why this thing was not anything special. Interesting idea. I'll read a little bit of this here and I'll give my take here. So, the global component shortage is affecting every hardware company, including Microsoft and Sony, whose console shipments have been greatly impacted. Nintendo has been hit as well, although not quite as hard. The chips it uses for the Switch are much older and the supply is generally more plentiful. True, to a point. Now, Nintendo, before this shortage happened, and right around when the shortage happened, they bought up all of NVIDIA's Tegra chips, because NVIDIA was, I believe they're ending support for that chip, which is where all these rumors started coming, because if Nvidia was ending support for the Tegra chip, then that means that they're probably going to end support for the Switch, because really the only thing that's using that chip is the Switch. That is an old chip that's basically used in cell phones and tablets that are obsolete now. So the Nintendo Switch, when it came out, it was already on obsolete hardware. Now you can really imagine how obsolete that is. That thing has 4 cores with 3 dedicated to graphics. The other one is dedicated to memory. You have 3 cores to actually work on. Oh shit! So getting games like Doom Eternal to run on that thing, that's pretty good work there. But regardless, that thing is gonna struggle, and it's already starting to struggle. All right, so I mean, like I said, I love that damn thing, but wouldn't it be nice to try and get the new Zelda game at 60 frames? I mean, if you can do 720 60 frames, like, I get the 720 screen. All right, there's honestly a 1080 screen that small. It's almost pointless, honestly. I would take the frames anyway, but you know. So if the Switch were to utilize a whole new chipset to get to the DLS upscaling, it would have delayed the launch to next year, or severely impacting initial supply at retail. OLED screen supplies is still plentiful, however. Cutting out the graphics upscaling features while retaining the bigger screen would still let the company release a new device this year to meet shipping targets. Releasing the console would prolong the current Switch's family sale life for a little while longer. That's true. Now, the Switch is selling like hotcakes. It really is. I mean, you want to talk about a PS5 and Xbox Series X? They're selling like hotcakes too, but they can't get on the shelves because there's just not enough chips for them. Nintendo bought up all the remaining stock of the Tegra chips, so they have plenty of these things to put out there. That's the thing. So, and the thing is, if Nvidia's ended support for the Tegra, and they're having a hard time getting new chips in, then there's really nothing to replace that Tegra chip, right? And if they're trying to get a chip with all kinds of DLSS upscaling support and that stuff, that's gonna take time. Probably a couple years. So, you know, maybe it is a smart, and you know, I think it is. In a way, it is a smart business decision. In a way, it's a stupid business decision. All right. It's smart because, yes, you're going to prolong the life of the Switch, which is still selling like hotcakes. But you're going to prolong the life a little longer, which I get. But here's where it's a negative here. The Xbox Series X and PS5, as they start ramping up and they start coming out, and you're going to get more games coming out on those consoles, the Switch is going to get less and less ports. It just is. You're not going to get newer games that are on PS5 and Xbox Series X running on the Switch. You're just not. Okay? Games like The Outer Worlds run like shit. You know? They do. As time goes on, that Switch, yeah, you're going to prolong the life and you're going to sell more consoles. But you're going to get less and less third-party ports, and you're going to rely more and more on your first-party deal. And look, Nintendo's perfectly fine doing that. They rely a lot on their first party. I mean, the Nintendo, you know, the Wii U was a complete disaster that had a lot of great first-party games, but no one gave a shit about that fucking thing. Okay? It was a dust gatherer. Okay? So Nintendo's got a good thing going, and I see the idea. Well, I see what they want to do. They want to prolong the life of something that's just doing really well. Okay? But again, there are two ways to prolong this thing. Okay, there's a complete market of motherfuckers like me that would take advantage of a 60 frame 4K upscaled Switch. I've bought 3 Switches already. I got my girlfriend a Switch Lite. I had an original Switch. I bought another Switch Lite. Okay, and I would be willing to buy another fucking Switch if it was worth the shit. It's not. This thing is not worth the shit. Okay, I could totally do the Switch upgrade. Look. And if it's if there was a chip shortage, I understand. Don't waste your money, don't waste your time, and don't waste any of the effort on this shit. Oh, we're gonna get a bigger screen that looks prettier. Yay! Okay, yeah, the fucking Nintendo fucking dick licker's gonna buy that shit. I'm not. I'm the people you want to buy that shit. Not just the dick lickers, because they're always gonna be there. Okay? But the dick lickers didn't buy the Wii U. Look, I'm no fucking fanboy. Okay, I have no rooting interest, honestly. I mean, Microsoft, they've pissed me off. You know, they're doing a lot better now, but they've pissed me off in the past. Sony, I used to love Sony. Now they're pissing me off. I'm pissed off at Sony. They're garbage right now. And Nintendo, look, I was always a Nintendo boy. My first console that was mine, that was my own, that I could call mine, that was mine, that I played all the time, that was in my room, and was my console, was the Nintendo 64. I got that thing Christmas, the year after it come out, and it was a game. It was a life changing thing. Okay, I mean the games and the experiences I got out of the Nintendo 64. Okay, changed me, man. Became a gamer. I'd always, played video games as a kid. I'd seen Super Nintendo. We had one, but, it was my brother's console, and he had, he did have his Mario games and stuff, but I just wasn't, there yet, and then my parents didn't know what to get me for Christmas, and my brother's like, here, get him this, and, there it was. So, Nintendo has always been my first love. But they're pissing me off too. Okay? This is completely the reason why I went to PC. Because I'm tired of this bullshit from these companies. Alright? PC has its issues too. We can go on and on and on and on about all the platforms issues with PC and honestly with everybody. But PC's still the fucking best. And any kind of fanboy that comes at me and says, oh, Sony's the best. Oh, Xbox. Oh, Nintendo, yay. No. PC. Sorry. It just is. If you got the money, go for it. If you don't, it sucks. But it's better. It just is. Okay? Even a rinky-dink little potato setup is better than, an Xbox Series S or X. In some cases. Not always. Like, if your PC can at least do 60 frames, I'd prefer that over the Series X. But, again, PC's better. The Xbox Series X is a magnificent console, but it's still a console. Same thing PS5. Magnificent console, but it's still a console. You're limited by the console. You're limited by the parameters of the console. So, anyway, this is a really long video. Okay, I've ranted. Look, Nintendo's wasting their time, wasting my time, wasting their, just wasting everybody's time and effort. They just are. Okay, so I don't want this fucking thing. If you want to go ahead and buy it, I don't want this stupid thing. I would either get an original Switch or just get an Xbox Series S if you can, because that thing's cheaper. Or hell, get a gaming laptop. That thing's portable too. Whatever. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. If you like what you see, like what you hear, go and like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comment section. You think Nintendo's archaic and wasting everyone's time? Because I do. Follow me on Twitter, Gab, Minds, guys. I'm on all that social media. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.